Hello there and welcome to an exciting day, hopefully, of Master League action in the finals tournament for 2023. I'm your host, AE, and I'm here today with none other than Vulcan HD Gaming.
Hello, everyone. Good to be here. Thank you for having me. Hey.
No problem. I'm very, very happy to have you. We met in London at a CoH3 press event, and it was mutual respect at first sight. He came from Warno, I came from Cupboard Heroes, and it was just, a match made in it wasn't we've barely spoken, but when we have spoken we've had a good laugh, and we've done a little bit of casting together, and it's been fun, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been. I mean, I would say we had a decent chat at the event, and then we even had dinner together, didn't we?
We technically did. It was paid for as well, which was lovely. So yeah, we definitely haven't been shills for CoH3 though. It's had a bit of a dodgy release, but we kind of like the bones of it, don't we? We like this design, and we've played a bit of it, we've cast a bit of it, and we've got a fantastic tournament to cast today. So we're in a great position, Vulcan. It's a good laugh, isn't it? Casting top level players.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very much looking forward to this game today. Yeah, it's best of 5 today.
It is a best of 5. It's also Battle Group Terminator, which means the players have to play as a different battle group every game. So we might see some cycling through the factions. And even if one of the players goes off to a really strong start due to some of their more abusive strategies, maybe they'll be reined in after that. So there's a natural kind of comeback mechanic in the best of 5 series. Got a lot to talk about, but I know that people tuning in want to see the best players in the world play each other. They will have to listen to us talk, but let's at least treat them to that. So without further ado, let's go over to the very first game of today. Hello there and welcome to Game 1. Welcome to the reigning world champion. He won the last year's Master League Finals tournament, finally beating Isildur in a massive best of 5 grand final, if you recall. It is indeed Nicko, hailing at the moment from Kazakhstan. And we've got Elpern from the south, from Sweden. He was runner-up in the GCS3 tournament you may have seen last year, and he's been one of the best players for Company Heroes 3. And I am AE, as usual, but we've got not quite an unusual guest. He is not a complete stranger, but he's somebody we definitely want to hear more of. It's Vulcan.
Hello, everyone. Lovely to be here, as always, and very excited to see these two very, very good players at the top level here today.
And he's a Vulcan by name and a Vulcan by nature. That means he's an intermediate to long-range nuclear bomber built by Avril Lancaster probably in the 1950s with an incredible fixed-wing design. But I am, of course, alluding to the Weasel. Now, have you played Special Ops as US, Vulcan?
I have indeed, and the Weasel is a really, really nice tool at the start to get some early caps in. Also gets that nice 30 cal that can put down actually quite a lot of damage and get some nice flanking positions in early.
It can indeed. And Nagano's just going for the southwest side of what is probably the best map for 1v1 in auto match for certain. And let's just see what Elpern's build is at the moment. He's gone for Gren, he's gone for an MG and a sandbag wall. Great choice from Elpern there. The number 4 seed in this event versus the number 5 seed. So I'll just now show their player trading cards. Go over to Twitch, Vulcan. Check this out. We've got Elpern. There we go. There's his trading card, Vulcan. You can see that.
Oh, wonderful.
Gotta love that. And, of course, we've got the reigning champion, Nagano, who's the highest-rated player on his trading card, but unfortunately for him, he's Seed 5 in the tournament. A bit of a late starter in Company of Heroes 3. And he's got his little...
Lacking on that strategy.
Yeah, well, he's kind of like... What it is with Nagano is he doubles down on build orders and he sticks with them for years at a time. He barely varies them up. So that's why he's one of the best players ever, but his strategy score is surprisingly low. And meanwhile, you've got Elpern, a veritable all-rounder, but he is very aggressive when he finds a build, and he can sometimes find a way to beat people really, really secretively and then unleash it in a tournament event, famously beating Love Nest in a Master League tournament a couple of years ago. Now we've got our first bullets fired in anger. Let's start analysing the tactics evolving in front of us.
Yeah, this Weasel is in a pretty bad position, honestly. It was trying to trade with Grens that were behind sandbags. It will do a lot of damage to these engineers, but yeah, took a lot of damage in the process. Gonna have to back off, stay out of combat for a little while so it can auto repair.
We do have 2 MGs on the field. The other one's just coming into the northern quadrant of Road to Tunis. It's got some sandbags it could lay behind here. It's also got this pre-built trench system. It could also go in and try and protect the fuel. Meanwhile, Elpern, he's breaking out and he's getting those grenadiers to the cutoff point. Good choice.
Yeah, lovely play here. Get those resources away from your opponent early on, and especially considering he has 2 MGs, there's potential for him to set up well here on this point. Although these Pathfinders do, oh, they're not quite Pathfinders yet, Scouts, getting the flank on it and forcing that MG back for the time.
I think Elpern's been following the Company of Heroes Twitter account and reading those beginner tweets, the beginner tips, because this is literally the exact cutoff they tweeted out yesterday, saying it's a good idea to sometimes go for cutoffs. And what was Relic's hot tip to defend against this strategy, Vulcan?
They said to build a resource cache, boys.
Yes! If only Nagano had known. If only he had known, a resource cache could have saved him in this scenario. But albeit, here he is. He's pushed away with bullets and defense and an early mortar, which he will have deployed from his Weasel.
Yeah, another bonus of having the Weasel there is it can deploy support weapons, meaning you don't need support weapon center, which is really, really nice indeed.
Imperial Dane, the propaganda minister of our community, has informed me that Twitter is now known as X. So big F in chat for anybody that used to use Twitter. Now they'll be using what looks like a porn site. So
yeah, you can no longer tweet or retweet. You can only post and repost.
Exit out. You got to exit out. And let's keep back into the reality that is these 2 hardened Company Heroes veterans facing off one another. The mortar has been tweaked a little bit in the latest balance patch. Those delayed fuses shouldn't be quite as omnipotent, but considering it only costs munitions in this game, I don't think it really matters. Oh, and what's this? We got the 2-2-1.
Yeah, the 2-2-1 coming out. That is an interesting addition to Elpern's arsenal here. That's for sure.
And that will possibly promote Nagano to go for a motor pool response if he can't deal with it early enough. It's also going to punish any idea of early bars, I suppose. Let's see how this 2-2-1 performs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the reason he's got it in. And it also forces the early tech into grenades potentially, which can really take the momentum out of the American player.
Yeah, for those just joining us from Company Heroes 1, time travels from 15 years ago. Grenades now give both types, not just stickies. They also give the frags. And yeah, so I mean, how is this game evolving so far? Who's your money on at this point, Vulcan? Who's got the stronger footing in this game 1 of this best of 5?
I think Elpern has managed to get out 2 MGs without really losing as much map control. Getting that cutoff was really important for him not to get too behind on resources. And yeah, it's helped him stabilize after the double MG start. Really? So I think Elpern definitely has a good shot at the moment.
Yeah, with this Jaeger build, we're going to have another one coming out of the Luftwaffe company soon. One of them's surely going to go for a Panzer Shrek. And the Greyhound is going to be gunning for the 2-2-1 as soon as it can. So you'll notice, there we go. The 2-2-1 is now going to gravitate around the Jaeger squad as though it's a moon in its orbit, basically. Because that Jaeger squad will give it the potential to stay on the map and not be forced off by the Greyhound.
I tell you what, Elpern's definitely winning the skin wars. These beautiful snow camos coming in hot.
He does it. He's one of the biggest enforcers of copium in the community, and I believe he does it because no one else wants to, which is good of him. I join him in that fray. Oh, what a shot by the Greyhound! And what a shot! I didn't know it could do that. That's a canister round, even though it doesn't have the ability. It's just kind of warping through Company Heroes series there, bringing out the old canister round from Company Heroes 2. How did that happen?
The anime Greyhound is one of those units that's so inconsistent. But when it hits hard, and those 2 poor engineers standing too close to each other, I think it hit the sandbag, and that's the main reason it managed to do so much damage there.
I like it, Vulcan. We're doing ballistics analysis here to figure out why on earth that scatter an AoE in this game.
It does happen. It does
Does
happen.
it?
Honestly,
Okay.
if you have a infantry squad standing in front of a wall and the shell hits the wall while your unit is stood next to it, they will die.
There we go.
Like, whereas why afterwards, when you see like him firing at squads in the open, the shells just go through, right?
Amazing.
So
what you're telling me, it was a skill shot.
unintentional skill shot.
The best kind. We're all Company Heroes players, and every unintentional skill shot was absolutely deliberate. And here we go. We've got bars upgraded, popping in the heat of battle, but it is up against the 2-2-1. Grenadiers are going to use the Veil of Fire, but here comes the Greyhound. Had a cheeky mine laid there. Notice he retreats the Pioneer because he doesn't want him to realise the mine's been laid. So I know the Pioneer is low, but you'd want to get out of there ASAP because you don't want the Pioneer to be seen where it's been doing the naughty business of mine laying. So good use there. Here comes the Shreks with the Jaegers with the Shreks rather. And do they get a volley? Yes, they do. Huge shot there. 40% health gone.
Yeah, this is actually really big trouble for this Greyhound. It's 2 shots down now. 1 more shot and that is gone. Can the Jaegers stay in range and get that shot on target? I don't expect they will. That Greyhound's going to be able to reverse very, very quickly. And I'm pretty sure Nagano's going to make sure that gets back to base in good time.
Oh, what a survival. What an absolute slither of health remaining on that M8 Greyhound. And here comes the mortar. Oh, and there goes Hans. He's no longer in one piece. He's in several micro fragments.
Turned into red mist by that water round, unfortunately. But the MG setting up again, trying to get more mid control once again. The point's actually sitting pretty nicely in favor of Nagano right now. He's had decent strategic map control.
Yeah,
throughout.
That's a really good, valid point. I hadn't even noticed that. Elpern, of course, is a fuel-hungry player. He does kind of have that Von Ivan style where he'll go for the fuel over victory points. But in CoH3, you can't really afford to do that. Nagano's been a bit savvy there, and he's not quite had as much resources. But saying that, he's recently pushed up and gotten the +10 fuel. Elpern's been jungling in the centre, Vulcan. There's that mine. Only hitting a scout, sadly. But he's been jungling in the centre, and he's been losing the peripheries of the battle.
Yeah, a lot of these infantry engagements are actually not going very well for Elpern because of the BARs, and now they're getting dual bars. It's getting even worse.
Yeah.
So, what did Nagano end up going in terms of support center?
Well, here we can see it on screen if your eyes can read that. We've got, of course, the infantry support center with, of course, munition surplus. It'll be pretty much the same every time. You want those 30 munition bars, of course.
Yeah, indeed.
P47 strafing runs are available. Could be interesting.
I don't think that the ability you get from the battle group is as strong as the F support center, but obviously it doesn't have the F support center option anymore, so let's see how these 8-Rads do. They're coming in hot, that's for sure.
They certainly are. They got 2-2-1. Ow, this could be game ending. The riflemen are really far away from base. They've got a torrid retreat path.
Oh, this is really, really, really nasty indeed. He is definitely going to be focusing down that 2-man rifle squad, looking for a white.
Oh, where was the Chaffee Nagano? Where was it? But fortunately for him, another survival there.
Yeah, not able to quite get the kill. Now the M8 actually has a really good chance of picking off one of these 8-Rads at least. And he's going to chase it down, probably all the way to base. Just got to be careful of the Jaeger Shreks. Well, it seems like the 8-Rads are starting to get some damage in here, and the 2-2-1 trying to go in for the block.
Yep.
Wouldn't be able to do so anymore, though.
Couldn't quite get it. Couldn't get in the smoke. Here comes the AT gun. Can he get like for like, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth? Oh, he's in the fog of war. The attack ground does not connect. So a good raid by Elpern there. Getting his man and killing the Greyhound.
That is really, really game-changing, honestly. Even though the rifles didn't die, losing 5 men is a lot of manpower drain. And then also now we've got the M8 going down and the reliance on this AT gun, which could easily be overrun once these 8-Rads get fixed back up.
I will just say these trading cards are not a meme. Me and other top players put a lot of effort into creating them. If you see, we've got Elpern's. He's got the really good strategy and offensive, but Nagano's got excellent control of the map, but doesn't always pick the right strategy. So although he had a lot of the map there, it didn't really matter because he didn't have the counter when he needed it, and he basically got pushed off the map and lost his ground.
Yeah, and now it's definitely going to be playing from behind from this point forwards. He could play around a second AT gun in order if he's struggling on fuel, but we'll have to wait and see.
Have to wait and see, indeed. Jaeger's behind the heavy cover there. They're just allowing time for the ground yet again to come in. MG has been forced off. We've got the 57mm AT gun pushing up in support, but is it enough? He's got line of sight. Elpern senses it, gets out of dodge. And Elpern's just sitting on all the points now, Vulcan. What a turnaround.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like Elpern here really played the long game, really took advantage of that M8 play, and now has pretty much got almost full map control. He is trying to sit in these buildings, but not going to be let happen. The bunker buster bomb or bunker buster mortar rounds going to be trying to do the job.
Yep, they are indeed, and it's the Jaegers that nearly bite the dust. Here we go, rifles. They're trying to stay in fire there because the rifles are so low, but they themselves could die to mortar fire if they're not careful. Oh my god, that was close.
Yeah, just a heads up that when you went into the cinematic mode, it did make the stream go black, so it might be a hotkey there.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you for that. It looked amazing for me, though, guys. I can't say just how good that looked.
So the rifles coming in, actually pushing off quite a lot of these low health squads. Elpern here really playing with fire with his squads. He does let them get very low on health before retreating them, but there is nothing really that can capitalize on that on the side of Nagano.
Oh, big moments here. The 8-Rad's gone in for the 57mm, and they're shuddering and juddering all over the place. They're down to 3 crew members. There's nobody coming to help. Oh no, this is not good. Here comes the other one. Elpern finds the hole and goes straight through it. Oh no, these lines are crumbling.
Yeah, that's really, really bad. The overextension there from the AT gun without a second one to support it is a big misplay from Nagano, to be honest.
Yeah. Where was the Chaffee? Where was it?
I don't think he's had enough fuel. He's been cut off his fuel entirely. And that's going to be it. That's going to be GG.
Must be, yeah. There we go. GG. Well played, everybody. But Elpern takes it 1-0. Yeah, that was a very good start to the series. It just goes to show if you get something wrong, like going Greyhound instead of Chaffee, it can come crumbling down all around you. And those 8-Rads were pouring onto the field, 2 of them with a 2-2-1 Vulcan. It was not a pretty game for Nagano. No,
not at all. I mean, the headmate, I don't necessarily think it was a bad choice. It was just kind of misplayed there. I think he overcommitted, right, for the 8-Rad that got low. If he just kind of pulled back into base, it would have been fine. And then you get the AT gun out and you can support the AT gun fine. Then you don't lose the fuel on the side, and then you can get a Chaffee out afterwards, right? So it's just losing the M8 really kind of snowballed.
If he'd gone a Chaffee first, I mean, I don't quite. Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know.
But then he wouldn't have got that awesome wipe.
Yeah.
The RNG god that is the M8 Greyhound.
It's possible he may have, if it was auto match or a scrim against somebody that wasn't Elpern, maybe what you're saying, he would have had just enough room for maneuver. What Nagano usually does is control the map, and he probably gets just enough fuel to go for the Chaffee after the Greyhound. But Elpern's a killer, man. He doesn't care about this control play style where you sit in tac map and you're making sure your pressure is equal across the map. He will just go for the jugular, and that's what we saw. So maybe Nagano was also possibly at risk of not playing the man and just trying to play the game, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Love to know what you guys in chat think as well. Would love to know what your feelings on it were. They will, Mighty Duck. I did them just for this tournament, but basically I've put everyone around 8 because I don't think anybody's truly a 9 in Company Heroes 3 yet. Because nobody's a master, are they, really? Except Vulcan. This guy's a pro.
Yeah, come on. I'm top 200 Brits, mate. Actually, I might not be anymore because I lost a bunch of games the other day.
But many people may maybe their profiles have gone hidden, so it could have upgraded your ranks.
Oh yeah, maybe I got like pushed up because of people being AFK. Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Talking of Brits, I will just point out we do have Brits in this next game. And I am going to spoil it because I do want to work out what happened. It just made everything go black. Okay. My bad. Thanks for pointing that out, Vulcan. But yeah,
no worries.
But yeah, we do have Brits in this next game, which should be interesting. It's Brits versus Wehrmacht. And as a top 200 in the world Brits player, Vulcan, how do you feel about that?
I'm very excited to see how the infantry performs. I think it will perform pretty well. Also, I'm going to need the stream on my end.
Oh yeah, definitely. I haven't gone through my my list of things to do yet. This was an added problem, which I love. I love added problems. Just keep throwing me curveballs, please. Live. It's what we want. It's what we want.
But yeah, Brits is really exciting at the moment because of the training center changes, and I think a lot of people underrate how big that change was. Not needing like the extra manpower to get the training center early really incentivizes getting training early, which means that infantry, even support weapons, are really strong at the moment. Particularly like Vickers HMGs, with the training upgrade, can be really, really lethal.
Let's get you that screen shared. Everyone can see it in action. See that A's doing his bullet list of things he has to do to make this happen. Engage script. Oh, I'm halfway down already, guys. This is awesome. We're powering through to the second replay of the day. In fact, I think I've got enough to work with here. I can make this happen as it stands. So let's get on with it, shall we? Hello there, and welcome to, as you can see it is indeed Game 2. And Elpern is 1-0 up versus Nagano here. Brits Vulcan versus Wehrmacht. What do you want to see from Nagano in this game to defend against this absolute masterclass that's coming his way?
I think double MG is still safe in this matchup. Gren's double MG is pretty standard, I think, for Wehrmacht right now. And it's really going to be dependent on how Elpern decides to deal with that, whether or not he gets a mortar, whether or not he decides to use like Lee Enfield snipers with the artillery from base to dislodge them, that kind of thing. So we'll have to kind of watch out for the start of the game, what he techs into his rifles.
Well, we've got two, let's call them middling players. They're pretty decent players, Prabati and Farlian in chat. We've got AA Crusader spam this game, is the possible question from Prabati. And Farlian says, no, Elpern's going to go Centaur. So poor Nagano, Vulcan. Poor Nagano is now reduced to, from being a world champion, I still owe him $1,500 from last year, by the way. But from being a world champion, he's now seen as cannon fodder in this new game, Vulcan. And people are questioning how Elpern's going to destroy him fastest. We're like, what weapon will Elpern use to absolutely crack Nagano's skull open with? This is somebody that was our world champion of last year, and everybody was rooting for him as well. They were really happy when he beat Isildur, and now look at them. So fickle.
Absolute hyenas.
They are. They just want to see their new god, Elpern, like, just smash him.
Yeah, well, Elpern definitely putting on a show for the first game. Very, very decisive victory there. And this time around, I expect Nagano to be a bit safer, but he's gone for double Grens early on. Might go breakthrough in order to get the advantage with the MP40 Grens over the rifles early on.
To be honest, if he goes more than 2 Grens, you pretty much expect breakthrough. Or I suppose maybe transfer orders into Jaegers or something. So let's see what he does with this. Breakthrough is still pretty good. In fact, all 3 Wehrmacht's battle groups are pretty good. Everything has something for everybody. It's just that MP40 Grenadiers aren't quite as oppressively OP as they once were. That's all it is.
And they're still pretty strong. But yeah, obviously they got tuned down a little bit. Not too much. But here we have the massive outnumber on this poor rifle squad. 2 Pioneers and a Gren coming in hot.
Yep. And he chooses the right moment to retreat there. Those MP40s were getting closer now. They've got on-the-move accuracy. And only one of those 5 sterling English warriors died.
Wait, can I see a sniper coming in from the Nagano? Is this the next level strats that we don't know about?
It is. The sharpshooter is on the field.
That's incredible. If it's supported well, then yeah, it could work out. It's just incredibly risky because if a Humber comes out early, it's going to be in trouble.
Ein Tont, eine Kampf. Let's go. Major Koenig's on the field.
With snipers right now is they are really, really easy to kill.
Yes, they disintegrate if you look at them. But before that, you have to try and kill as many people as you can. They're the ultimate glass cannon. But Relic decided to put microfractures all the way through the body of the glass cannon in this case, so a small wind can just make them blow away. We'll see. He's vaulting into action. That's brave.
We got a rifle tech early as well, or a grenade tech early.
Yes,
from
grenade package
rifles.
coming out.
That's interesting. Very interesting to see him investing in that. But he has managed to get himself a lot of munitions early on, that's for sure. So going to be trying to make good use of that.
He hasn't seen the sniper yet, has he? So maybe
he shot the Royal Engineers. With
him. He's got 1 kill. Fair enough. Unfortunately, with this homebrew hodgepodge of different community mods, UI we've got for replay casting, we can't see kills right now, but at least we get to see a lot of the game. And he's definitely been seen there. This is his 2nd kill now, so maybe he's going to regret that grenades package. Who knows?
That sniper is in such a bad position already. It really, really is. It's going to be hit pretty hard by those guys. And yeah, Lee Enfields did come out there onto that rifle squad, and they are really, really scary for snipers because they can do a lot of nice damage at range.
I tell you what, it's the perfect map for a sniper because it's so bloody open, but you still have to play perfectly. You still have to be cautious and conservative. You can't just, you know, play in that traditional kind of hero style of just kind of marginally supporting him and like keeping some units ahead of him. You literally have to babysit them in Company Heroes 3.
I mean, not having any MGs from a Wehrmacht player right now, you can see how much of the map he is ceding to the British player. This is not a good start for Nagano at all.
Well, there's 1 territory point right now. It's the fuel outside of base. But he could get a squad wipe with the sniper support. 4... Oh, they couldn't keep firing. The Mausers couldn't get the kill. They were having to dodge a rifle nade from the infantry section, so you can't blame their retreat, to be honest.
Yeah, so looks like it is going to be Jaegers. We'll get the Geweers out and the Shreks, depending on what we're going to see. But
remember that sniper?
Is flanked. Oh, no.
Oh, that's it. They're stationary now. He's done for. But they dropped down to 1 model. There's 1 man remaining. Jaegers could get the kill. The Predator has become prey, possibly. Oh, and he's coming in on the retreat path as well. Nagano's still got some blood left.
These Grens have surely got to pick up this kill. Surely you're going to pick up this kill, but retreat too strong.
No, they didn't, and don't call me Shirley.
We're losing a victory point.
Oh, no. That's that bloody retreat bonus received accuracy buff in Company Heroes 3. It reminds me of Co-1 Brits, but everybody has it now.
Losing a munitions point.
That's actually really, really unfortunate. Those Grens were in the perfect place to pick off that 1 rifle there. Maybe could have even been a bit closer to, you know, increase their accuracy a little bit. But,
yeah.
you know, is what it is. And Elpern getting away with it. That's for sure.
Well, Nagano's gone for faction ultimate points. Mechanized, raid package. and medical stations so far. So there we go. We know he's got raid package. Let's see. It's probably going to be 8 rads, isn't it? We've both got laying mines right now. We've got one in the south here, and we've got one in the north here. Ah! But he's going to have to cancel it because he's just lost one of the people trying to lay it.
Yeah, that sniper is actually, you know, having stayed alive, might be able to get enough value to be worth it this game.
Can I just say as well, Elpern's one of those people that absolutely deplores snipers. It's a psychological weapon of trauma for him. He hates them.
The other thing you can see here is Nagano went for the caps onto these strategic points before anything else, just to make sure that he's still in this game for the long run.
Not a bad idea. Infantry section getting really far into Nagano's territories there. Jaegers can't do too much on the retreat path. And again, the cutoff's taken. I think that's the 3rd time this game.
The one thing that's really, really scary about the sniper is in those engagements where you're trying to min-max your HP, you get like taken down to like those 2 models, for example, there, and the sniper just kills one of them, and then all of a sudden wipe on the other.
Recon flank on the sniper, but not one bullet hits. Sorry to interrupt there, Vulcan. Honestly, this sniper is going to disappear, and it's... I'm feeling like I might actually capture the sniper dying this game. You know, you have to put a lot of work into it, trust me. You have to put a lot of work into it.
I mean, you're not wrong to point it out, because those Liam fields are actually really, really scary for taking out snipers. It's one thing they are extremely good at if they can get on top of them.
Tell you what, these Flamer squads not been that much in the game so far, and this grenade could... they have to push into combat against the MP40s. But those Flamers are so powerful in CoH3, they win out anyway.
Yep, those Gren's not really able to do enough, but needs to be careful not to get wiped by the Pioneer. He manages to get off another slither of a retreat, and is getting a lot of value out of his medical station, that's for sure.
There's been a lot of slithering in this game in terms of getting away. A mine goes off in the south there. Royal Engineers down to 1 man. Shrek Jaegers don't have a vehicle target against them. Again, that's kind of pointing out Nagano on his old strategy points there. Why he's one of the greatest players of all time. But sometimes his build orders and choices don't necessarily always make sense.
Well, I think it's a preempt to support his 8-rad that's now come on the field. He's going to be taking advantage. It's his turn to exploit the Wehrmacht 8-rad.
Ah, it's his turn to play with the 8-rad. Mommy, it's my turn.
And you can see the map control is completely turned around now. As the game continues and this sniper now sits behind Jaegers, that's actually going to be really scary for the British infantry.
That's a good point. I think that's the real point of the Jaegers, isn't it? It's to blow up, one, but also to protect the sniper. I'm a bit of a bad caster for not pointing that out. The 8-rad, by the way, guys, is currently slightly bugged. I probably shouldn't point out if I was trying to promote CoH3 as the most bestest RTS game of all time. But yeah, the fire rate is bugged at the moment. And the 6-pounder has to take him out because we saw just how powerful the 8-rads were in Game 1.
Yeah, this is a nice thing that the Brits have, though, is their training on the support weapons, so I wouldn't be surprised to see like double AT gun pretty early on actually. And he has managed to get a little bit of a pushback here on the Jaegers. Once the Jaegers start to get a bit of vet, though, they will be very scary again once supported by the 8-rad. The AT gun maybe a little bit overextended right now.
Yeah, look at these Brens. I don't rarely see Brens for the infantry sections because they're quite expensive, but yeah.
They have been buffed. They definitely do more than they used to. Would I say that they are better value than a recon package? Probably not.
No.
I think the Liam fields are still best.
Consider how much munitions Elpern's had this game. You know, he's in a position where these finer arguments of the Lienfield scopes being better pound for pound. He doesn't really have to consider it because he's had that much of the map. And look at his command points, Vulcan. He's so close to the Crusader AA. He's at 3.9 right now, and he just needs a 0.1 to get there.
And you can see that he is actually floating a lot of manpower and fuel, waiting to bring in one and then a second soon after, I'm sure.
Here it comes. It costs 70 fuel, 360 manpower. He's got enough for the first one immediately, and the second won't be too far behind. What can Nagano do against this?
Yeah, you got 30 seconds cooldown, and then another one pops out immediately
Oh,
after.
God! Look how low this Grenadier as well, and it's coming straight for him. Oh, no. Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
has he spotted it? That is the question. Is he going to go for the cutoff? It looks like he's going to have to be forced to deal with the 8-rad. And the 8-rads are not going to win that engagement, so
Not
gotta be
much
really
is.
careful. Those Jaegers are going to have to try and get a Shrek out ASAP.
Oh, he can't finish the mine in time. Can he get it? He popped smoke. He's got 2 mines now. I don't know if he's got enough munitions for another Shrek to pop. Can he get the 8-rad behind the rock? No, he can't. Dwayne Johnson doesn't help him out in this case. Here comes the Jaeger with a Shrek to try and get in position, but he's not going to be able to do that. Pioneers were trying to lay mines on the Crusader AA's retreat path, but it's not going to matter because those 30 seconds have gone very quickly. And Elpern's basically got like 3 queens in chess, Vulcan.
Yeah. The tempo has once again just been completely destroyed. Similar to the first game, he's based. Oh, the lovely
clutch
mine there
mine.
actually does the trick.
But he's suppressed, and he missed! Why
did?
He just shot the tree! He needs every shot to hit right now. That was a terrible shot. Finally hits again. And there's another mine! There's another mine, Vulcan!
Is he
Look.
gonna hit it?
I hope so. Just to keep this game alive. Sniper's still alive. Here we go! He's trolling us! He's remembered! He remembered. He saw that one, I think. Oh, Elpern, you naughty boy.
Oh, that would have been game changing, but oh no, they're both gonna survive, and Nagano's in his base with all the troops.
Yeah, that would have literally maybe given him a chance. Oh, he's not got enough. I don't. He's got 40 fuel, and this isn't going well.
Yeah, he needs more Jaeger Shreks. That's what he needs. Then these Crusader AAs are going to be a lot less effective, but they've already got a lot of veterancy, and it looks like he maybe went training center to get them that quick. The upgrade for the
Actually, rigorous vehicle
vehicles,
training.
is
Yes,
it?
there we go.
Yeah.
Rigorous vehicle training. Yep.
the really nice timing here. Honestly, this is a really nice strategy from Elpern with the double Crusader AA into vehicle training.
And that's what it is. It's a nice strategy. And Nagano needed a nice counter strategy. He needed his homework done. This is a single elimination tournament, Vulcan, best of 5. In order to win this $2,000 first place prize, you have to do your homework on each opponent. You have to go full Love Nest, just like Love Nest used to do back in the day when he countered Helping Hands by secretly training as US, even though he was the most famous Soviet player at the time. And then he 4-0 Devem because he countered every single facet of Devem's build orders. You have to be that level of homework, and to not expect the AA, Crusader AA from Elpern, who, by the way, was in a big semi-final only 2 tournaments ago versus Ferigi with Crusader AAs. Like 30,000 views on YouTube. Lots of people in chat are expecting this from Elpern. Nagano needed to expect the same.
Yeah, and one thing we didn't notice is that the sniper went down and then he rebuilt the sniper.
Good. I'm just going to pretend this is the original sniper so I didn't miss it on camera.
Even why did the sniper get rebuilt? Also, those Jaegers nearly going down there, but the AT gun double Shrek nearly taking out that Crusader.
Let's possibly think maybe Nagano can get back in it. I mean, maybe I should try and climb down off my epitaph. I've already given him a eulogy, though, so... So, how do I climb down from there?
Yeah, this is... this is really going to be massively dependent on Nagano actually starting to kill some of these Crusader AAs, because they are incredibly nasty right now, particularly the ones with the 2 vet there. Look at that sniping capability. Oh, they're all stuck on the fence. No!
Oh, what a
The
terrible
retreat
death!
thing.
He got his foot stuck.
Oh.
And his mates didn't care. They didn't try and help him. Helmut was like, "Nein, my foot is on the fence." And he's dead now.
The enemy has our victory points
Well,
now.
that's fine. You want to make a decision.
Oh.
Do you stay or do you go? You don't stay on the fence, do you, Vulcan? Never stay on the fence in decision making, eh?
Yeah, I think Elpern's kind of had enough here. He's like, you know what? I like the look of your base.
Yes, but he
These
has
grins.
just ran into a Faust and another, but they're only shocking the crew, nothing more. Meanwhile, this Jaeger's...
Honestly,
Oh dear, he's going in for the pack, Vulcan. He's got to get round the sides. He's suffered only one shot so far. Meanwhile, the Shrek squad's retreating. He's going to get rid of the pack. And just like we saw in Game 1, as soon as the AT gun is down, it's open hunting season for Elpernius.
I was just about to say, it's only a matter of time until Elpern smells blood in the base here. Look how badly these are absolutely annihilating the Grens, and another wipe there. Oh, terrible, terrible position for Nagano's being. It's only a matter of time, surely.
Yeah. That Elpern will do that to you.
Jaeger Shrek almost going down there. He's going to have to respect this one as they are going to read through the AT gun, but I'm not sure that was worth it at all. AT gun actually gets taken out as well straight afterwards, so can't even recrew it now. And the suicide charge is not going to help Nagano.
Heavy tanks are awaiting requisition.
Sadly not. Oh, I will point out, by the way, it isn't just single elimination. They do carry on to fight for 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th places. I should have mentioned that. So Nagano will keep playing. He will play his best. He's 2-0 down. And that doesn't mean he's out of the tournament. He could still technically win right now, Vulcan. But let's be positive. He could still win. He may have been destroyed in Game 1 and 2. Yeah, exactly. Reverse sweep incoming. Let's go. Right, so yeah, reverse sweep's coming. Can't wait.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, Elpern's used 2 of his top strategies, right? Already. He's used the 8-rad Vermac strategy and he's used the Crusader AA strategy. So we've got to see if he's got more in the tank, because if he doesn't, then reverse sweep is very possible.
All I'll say is this is doing wonders for my relationship right now because, you know, I'll be able to like finish my casting and my streaming like after 3 hours. I'll be like, hey, do you want to watch the rest of Lord of the Rings? My girlfriend will be like,
Nice.
not really, but okay. Oh, God. I'm enjoying these games, though. I like the fact that Company Heroes has strategic decision-making at a heightened level again. I fell in love with Company Heroes 1 back in the day because there was this whole idea, Vulcan, that you had to understand your opponent's fuel control, because if you go for bars as US and they go for early Puma, you've done and lost the game. You know what I mean? If you don't get an anti-tank gun out before the Panzer Elite player gets maybe a rush for Panzer IV infantry tank because you were actually expecting a C-spam, you've lost the game. You actually have to think about the strategy more so. Company Heroes 2, amazing game, by the way. It's literally one of my favorite games of all time. However, in Company of... Yes, it happened to me, Zulu. Infantry... sorry, not at your level or Demer's level, but it happened to me because I was like a rank 14. So I expected what happened to you guys. I didn't do my reconnaissance on my opponents, and then I got Panzer IV infantry tanked. So what I'm suggesting, though, however, is Company Heroes has that back again to an extent. It's a little bit more guts and glory, risk-reward, and the strategy matters a bit more than it did in Company Heroes 2, because I don't know if you played CoH3 Vulcan, but that was a bit more like rubber band mechanics, and if you effed up, you had time to kind of like get the counter out you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot more comeback mechanics in that game, yeah.
But you can't really do that in Company Heroes 3. As we've seen in games 1 and 2, you get it wrong, you're screwed.
Yeah, and the timing in that game was, like I said, it was really good because, and honestly, Nagano should have maybe seen it coming because Elpern sat on 3 rifles, 2 field engineers for so long.
Yeah.
And he was saving manpower, saving fuel. As soon as he gets the 4 CP, he can immediately bring in 2. Like, that was just perfect.
It was bang on.
Perfect, babe.
It was bang on. He's got his strategies down to a T. He's evolved them in time. It's still the same one he was using 2 tournaments in that case. but he's he's got his timings down. He's playing like he means it, and he's got an idea of exactly what he wants to do. And in Nagano, one of the five best Company Heroes players of all time, I will just say it again, he's always been a little bit strategically resistant to change. Like, for example, everybody remembers Nagano in the ESL days. He found the Command Panther for OKW, and Vulcan, he used it probably 15 tournaments in a row. he used it 15 tournaments in a row or something crazy like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I feel like Nagano had like tried this sniper strategy in ranked or something and was like, this is good because he won against sub 100 players or something, like rank 100. I mean, but I could never really see a sniper strategy working in like at the moment with the way that snipers are. Because they are so micro-intensive, so weak at the moment. It's it's just very risky. And that map, you can kill off snipers pretty fast with vehicles.
Yeah. You can, and it was the map to try snipers on if you were going to try them. But he just left himself vulnerable to the exact strategy Elpern was most likely to go. We had viewers, Prabati, and people like strong 2v2 players level, let's say, from the Co2 days. They were knowing what Elpern was going for, so why didn't Nagano? It just baffles my mind. It really does. But again, I'm not trying to talk crap about Nagano, one of the 5 best Company Heroes players of all time, and our current, technically reigning world champion. But for how much longer? Let's see if he can win in Game 3. Shared screen, scroll out, start recording. Yeah, I'm pretty much there now. Got to do my bullet list. Incredibly professional.
Yeah, all good on my end.
Yeah, you just have to watch. What do you mean all good on your end?
I was just saying that I can see it.
Oh, right. That's good. Sorry, thank you. Sorry for being so patronizing there.
Yeah, there's so much work here. Oh,
oh God. We got Kawzak in chat, one of the top 8 seeds. He's the one that has a goose as his avatar, if you check him out on the brackets. Is it you that's playing later today, Kawzak, or are you tomorrow? I think you're tomorrow versus Jibber. That's it. Jibber versus Kawzak tomorrow. Orange Pest versus Hulk Smash tomorrow. And we've got Fergie versus Theodosios today. So it's all good in the hood. He's even got a Kawzak Goose emote. All right, fair enough. All right, let's roll into Game 3, shall we? Shit. Hello there and welcome to Game 3. As you can see, Elpern's 2-0 up in this best of 5 series. This quarter-final, 8-player finals showdown. Winner of the whole tournament gets $2,000 of a $4,000 prize pool. $3,000 donated by the fans, $1,000 by Relic. Master League at its finest. Let's go. Vulcan, how are you enjoying things so far?
Oh, I mean, I love the high stakes there is incredible. 2,000 for the winner is actually a huge prize pool. So props to you for sorting that out. But yeah, Jeep out at the start with Armored Battle Group gets the extra bet, allows it to cap. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup. The US now versus Wehrmacht.
It's going to be a fantastic matchup. The Jeep, as you say, basically, this thing is a little bit bugged as well, but it's also been buffed. It's been buffed in 3 ways, and it absolutely counters the Kettenkrad. The Wehrmacht have one of their best early game tools for capping taken off the field by this miraculous little Jeep here.
Yeah, it provides really good fire support, especially into the flanks. Like, if you're engaging say, your rifle squad versus a Gren, from green cover to green cover, you can move the Jeep round the flank, so it's ignoring the bonuses there. Also, harassing the Grens while they're building is really, really nice. But these rifles getting very, very deep early on. Looking for the double munition cap at the start there.
Wow, yeah, and they're getting the plus 16 here. They're possibly going to contend up here. Maybe this is indicative of the strategy Elpern's going to employ. He's absolutely ignored his plus 10 fuel, so we could be seeing fast bars doubling up to double bars per rifle in this game. Nagano's got a feel for that. He's going to go for the MG42 next. And let's not forget, chat, that this is do or die now for Nagano. He does not want to be competing for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th place, and he will be if he loses this next game.
Yeah. All on the line for Nagano, so we're going to have to see his best play. And we are finally seeing an MG out of Wehrmacht, which is good to see. I think the MG42, you got to have at least one in the game when you're playing Wehrmacht. It gives you so much map control on the side that it is, and here you see it's going to just completely rip these rifles to shreds.
Here's the Jeep, though. A famous little Willys 3/4 ton truck doing work on the crew members of the MG. We do have a pinned rifle forced away.
Yeah, he's getting good flanking shots in there, but got to be careful of the Grens. Getting a Panzerfaust on target. He's got to pay attention to that, because that would be a dead Jeep right now.
Now check out this bug. It fires infinitely with range whilst reversing away. I'm sure Relic have it on their list of things to change, and I appreciate the fact that, of course, this is a big tournament, and I appreciate the fact they got lots of hot fixes out, so... yeah, it's just they couldn't quite get that one fixed in time, sadly. But let's hope they get it fixed before the semi-finals, let's say.
As we're seeing breakthrough this time around, MP40 Grens going to be having a go at these rifles, forcing them to take range in order to negate that bonus the extra MP40 gives them.
MG pushing up. MP40s are spotting for them. We've got Grens trying to take away some of this central ground. And by the way, the Pioneers are pushed all the way down south because Elpern's completely neglected his own plus 10 fuel down there.
Yeah, it's interesting that Elpern really isn't prioritizing fuel at all, and will most likely, like I say, be going for these double Bren or deep double BARs pretty quickly. He's got the munitions saving up nicely. And yeah, all of those rifles will have double bars very, very fast.
Jeep's going straight in for the Pioneers, forcing them off. Good work there. Meanwhile, on the west side, we've got Grenadiers pushing away. Taking this cut off to nowhere, but just really... Did I just hear an explosion? Oh, no, it's just a...
Yeah, he drove through the barrels at that capture point.
Thought it was a mine for a second there. I got excited. I thought he'd laid a sneaky mine, got rid of the Jeep, but sadly not. Jeep uses raid capping to take away the cutoff to both plus 10 fuels in the south.
Yep, and nice use of elevation there with the Grens. A new addition in CoH3 to do a lot of damage to the rifles. They're definitely in a bad position right here. Gonna potentially lose another model on the way out, but it seems like these Grens are actually focusing down the Jeep.
Yeah, we've got a distraction in the north. Let's see what distracted Elpern whilst his Jeep died. It was this engagement here, trying to flank the MG. Does the Jeep survive? No, it doesn't. Does the MG survive? Yes, it does. Nagano's coming back into this. Nagano is coming back into this.
Oh, lovely. Jeep down, rifle squad down. Both of those squads pinned and absolutely minced. And wonderful, wonderful play here from Nagano. Beautiful to see.
He just doesn't like rotatuners, clearly, but there you go. The old dog has got some life left in him. He's a Company Heroes 1 tournament winner. Company Heroes 2 2v2 tournament winner. A Company Heroes 2 world champion, for God's sake. Of course he has. We were wrong to doubt him.
So let's see if these MP40s can get some decent damage down to these bars. Oh, the MG actually clipping one of the models there and managing to kill one before the rest are behind cover. And honestly, that went a lot better for the Grens than I thought it would.
It's about to go very badly indeed, Vulcan. There's another board squad on the retreat path.
Oh, no.
Cancel the reverse sweep. Cancel it. We've got... reverse sweep has been cancelled. No kids will be getting any toys for Christmas.
Oh, that was brutal. Those two Grens went down like a shit.
A sack of spuds, Vulcan. A sack of spuds.
Sack of friendly spuds. Sorry.
It's okay. Now that Relic have donated to my tournament, all of a sudden I'm really politically correct all of a sudden.
MG42 actually getting away with all of their men there. So they're going to heal up nicely and come back. Assuming that he got the base healing, which he might not have because he's relying on Grens, and Grens, of course, get their own healing.
They do.
So it's not necessarily something that you rely on so much from base.
Just the tiniest of micro taxes, and then it's their own healing. MP40 sprint into action here. Low health rifles, but I'm not fancying the Grenadiers' chances. What I am fancying is the amount of fuel dominance Nagano's had. Let's see what battle group he's gone for. Well, of course we know it's breakthrough. It's breakthrough. It's breakthrough. We've got MP40 Grenadiers, but let's see what he's got from it, rather. Okay, not much yet. Oh,
I'm
no!
expecting... Ooh, is this going to go down? No? Maybe?
Oh, no!
Last second.
Oh, dear.
I feel like because we watched it, he died.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to be seeing... obviously, we're not going to be seeing A-Rads anymore because he's used that battle group before. But I think we'll see maybe early Panzer IVs, potentially.
Yes.
He is building a tank.
He's going to need something. He's building the... that's the building itself. So from this, Panzer IV, maybe. We've got 38 fuel in the bag right now with an income of plus 34. We've got loads of mines queued up. He's going to need these bad boys. He's just stringing them across the north. Will he have time to lay them, though? Let's have a look.
Yeah, looks like this Gren's in bad trouble, though. He's got to be really careful. These bars are actually really starting to get the better of a lot of these infantry engagements, and we already saw 2 wipes, so we don't want to see another.
Get down!
B-49 is going to come from the other side to help out.
Oh, now Elpern actually needs to be careful with this low health rifle squad. He does notice it is going to be falling back as soon as possible because, again, with that heightened advantage there, getting a lot of accuracy on those shots.
Right, he's laid 2 of the mines he strung up. That's pretty good going, to be honest. Elpern has no minesweepers, so the north is Nagano's for a while. A grenade assault used, but easily dodged there. And he's pouring it on and forcing the Grenadiers back to base.
Yeah, the double bar is really, really scary when it comes into play. And those MP40 Grens no longer have dominance in those close range engagements.
There's another mine there. Both pioneers have basically mined off the north there in its entirety. And it's very much like it's a no Elpern's land now. No Elpern's
So we just passed the fuel threshold for the Panzer IV. Now he's just going to be waiting on the manpower. And then we'll be seeing that out, I'm sure, pretty soon.
Meanwhile, big sadness. Elpern managed to see that last mine get laid here, so he immediately queues up the engineer and goes for the minesweeper.
Here it comes. Panzer IV on the build. And that's definitely going to swing a lot of these engagements. If Elpern is not ready for this, it could be curtains because Nagano is so far ahead in points right now. You know, if he sits on a triple cap for another, 2 minutes, it's just going to be over.
Oh, I forgot on this UI it shows the tank is near completed for ages. The bar doesn't work. So I was looking at it, waiting for it to come out. And I was stuck. I fell for that last time as well. I never learned. Meanwhile, we've got Pour It On. He's trying to negate some cover advantage. But we've got Height Mechanics. Grenade tossed on the MG. They're really grouped up, Vulcan. Oh, my. And another one coming around the side.
Redeploy though, which is very, very risky. Although he managed to merge, he merged with the Grens. Very nice play there. Going to keep the MG alive.
He dodged the grenade.
Grenade. Another 2 men go down. This time he goes for the retreat.
I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving this game. Just because there's so much at risk for Nagano at every step of the way. He needs this to go so bloody well. Here we go. We got Panzer IV versus Rifleman. Get some good shots off. Can it do some real damage? Keep Nagano in this thing.
He's going to be able to chase this rifle squad all the way back to base if he wanted to be honest. There is nothing to stop him right now. I'm not sure that Elpern even has grenades, so can't even slow it down. Oh, and the Gren's in a perfect position here. Might actually get a wipe, which would be really, really nice for Nagano. Oh, it's so
He's
close.
gonna have to go in.
Commit.
He's gonna have to go in, surely. Oh no! How did it escape?
Looking for more manpower damage onto this squad instead. And they're all standing by the rock. As I mentioned in the other game, they do not want to be standing with terrain behind them because those shots out of cannons can do so much damage in those situations.
We've got some funny comments in chat. Jibber Jabba Jabba's pointing out that, well, he's number 3 seed in this tournament, by the way. He's pointing out that Elpern, all of his builds surround call-in units, and Elpern's one of the most vocal critics of call-in units. So it's almost like he's doing as a service with all of his builds in every tournament, trying to show Relic the error of their ways, rather.
And just exploit it until it gets fixed.
Exactly.
Guys, this is really strong. I'm trying to prove it.
Kind of killing everybody over here. Okay, we've got 57mm AT gun set up. Can it get a shot off? Yes, it can. Keeping the Panzer IV from being 100% for a while.
Yeah, so it looks like Nagano really trying to double down on capturing these points and keep bleeding Elpern. He's down to 160 capture points now. That's really, really bad.
Yeah, victory points not in Elpern's favour, but he of course will have the Easy 8 later on. He's going to require 3 more command points total. Anybody know the nerfs for the Easy 8s? And if Easy 8s are any worse now?
They basically brought it in line with the M4 Area 176,
That was it.
I believe.
That was it. It was all about the AoE against infantry, if I believe. They made it so it's like still really good, but just basically like absolutely smash infantry anymore.
But this Panzer IV certainly smashing infantry. That rifle squad getting taken down 2 men. The officer now going to be going up against these Grens. Honestly, the Grens at 2 vet there are actually going to put a lot of damage onto the captain. Rifles up in the high ground. Certainly going to do a lot of damage in return, though.
Yep, trying to dodge the 18-8 there. Do so. We've got Stosstruppen on the field just to give him some more firepower versus these barred up squads. Meanwhile, in the north, MG's being flanked and he doesn't know about it. Oh dear. Let's keep an eye on that one. Here it comes.
One thing that's a problem right now for Elpern is he really is struggling for fuel. And has been for the entire game so far. So even if he does get the Easy 8 unlock, he's going to have a hard time bringing them in.
What do they cost? I thought they were mostly manpower, isn't it? It's still like a... Well, he has only got 72 fuel, yeah.
I think it's quite expensive on the fuel, I think.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Stosstruppen evaporating the rifles. But they weren't stationary, so the MG34 couldn't quite get its accuracy off, sadly. Back in the north, grenade comes in. Can Nagano dodge it? Yes, he can.
I just did a quick little bit of research here. It's 100 fuel.
Yes, I was right. AE was right. That's amazing. Big thanks to Jibber in chat, who's been feeding AE advice before these casts to try and get me back up to fighting fitness. Wow, thanks Jibber. My lord and savior.
So Elpern still a little ways off.
He's a little ways off life there, Vulcan. A rifle gets absolutely annihilated on retreat by the Panzer IV.
It's the terrain.
Our ballistics expert,
Brutal.
Vulcan. He knows how these things work. It's all about the terrain, according to him, and I'm starting to believe him.
Yeah, it's because they were stood right next to the cliff, so it just groups up the soldiers, and then they take massive AoE damage. It's really weird.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen so much. Lovely views here.
Yes,
Lovely views across Twin Beaches. But now down to only 2 rifle squads for Elpern. That is not a lot of infantry control. 5 squads total versus 2 Panzer IVs, 3 Grens, an MG, and Oh yeah, the Slosh Troop as well coming out, so it's not getting any better. Honestly, Nagano in a huge lead, which is lovely to see because it means it is very likely we're going to see a game 4.
Yes, it is indeed. This series has legs. They may only be short and stubby, but they can travel. And we'll see where it's going to take us from here. Here we go. They've got the Easy 8 on the field. The most dominant unit in Company Heroes 3 so far, and we're taking alphas and betas into consideration as well. It's finally had an anti-infantry nerf, but it's still beastly against tanks.
Yeah, so this is going to be very much on Nagano to not let this pick off Panzer IVs. He's got to double team it with his Panzer IVs in order to win 1v1. It's not going to work.
Alright, he's retreating away. It's a target-rich environment, and the Easy 8's got his 76mm out, and he's having some fun. Where's the second Panzer IV?
Honestly, the Panzer IV are dealing with this relatively well so far, getting a lot of penetrations in the front armor and forcing that M8 back on its own.
And a Faust as well, and here it comes again. He gets yet another shot. We've got the 57mm AT gun lining up as well. He gets another shot at himself, but here comes the fresh Panzer IV. Nagano's getting back into the series. Side hit, yes. Another MP40 Grenadier comes round the side, getting rid of the AT gun. One more shot to penetrate should mean the end of this game.
He's managed to repair it just enough for an extra shot there. That might be
Is it
all the
still
difference.
alive? No! It missed! It missed! Elpern's luck ran out, and GG has been called. The series is taken to 2-1. Nagano's still in this yet.
Absolutely explosive game there from Elpern and Nagano. Incredibly scrappy, that's for sure. So many squad wipes in that game.
It was messy, wasn't it? It's how we like it, though.
It was incredible. That was actually a very, very, very fun game to watch.
And that's what we like. That's what we like. We're starting to like about what we can see about the game Company Heroes 3 is becoming. I put loads of caveats in there because I don't want to sound like I'm trying to cope or whatever. But you know what I mean? Even the ridiculously fast, brutal, frenetic games are awesome to watch. And that's what we want. We don't want it to be dictated by RNG necessarily. It's about what the players do in that RNG environment and how quick they can react and how they can mold the chaos in their favor. And I'm starting to get a taste for it, and it's starting to look really good in my opinion.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like that last engagement there was just wild because the Grens, I don't know if you noticed, but the Grens got sniped on the way out by the M8 as well. So
no.
Nagano lost his Grens at the same time, but yeah, that poor M8 was double teamed.
Oh no.
It was honestly all on that M8. That M8 had to, or the keep calling it an M8, an M4E8.
Hey, you're just abbreviating. It's M'8.
I always call it the M8, and I'm pretty sure people get so annoyed about it. Like, I know it's an Easy 8, okay? I just need to remember to call it an E8, not an M8.
No, I like annoying chat. That's one of my favourite things to do, actually. So it's all good from me. Let's see where we're going next on our magical Saturday journey with Elpern and Nagano, having some fun. That's that bit done. What's next on my list? Here we go. Shall we have a little toilet break and a drink break, Vulcan? A couple of minutes, maybe?
Sure, why not?
Let's do it. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, guys, with Game 4. Cheers. Hello there and welcome to Game 4. Welcome to Nagano's. That's right, Pathfinders. These guys have already used some of the best battle groups available, so now they're having to look elsewhere for some of their best tactics they can use. Elpern's still 2-1 up in this best of 5, but he just absolutely got railroaded by the juggernaut that is Nagano in Game 3. Come on, Vulcan.
Yeah, lovely, fast Panzer IV strategy from Nagano. Definitely doing the trick. Maybe Elpern will do the same this time around, although he has gone for the Fallschirm Pioneers here. Luftwaffe Battle Group.
Let's just cinematically cast this one. It's a pretty decent map, isn't it? It's got like a load of stuff going on. It has had a small change, by the way, guys, that if you could spot it, but this house is no longer 2 stories and no longer looks over the entirety of the cut-off area. So that's a nice change at the very least. So yeah, we've got that going for us.
Uncle Sam sends his regards.
Yeah, we have what looks like Luftwaffe versus Airborne, which is actually an interesting matchup here. Double Pathfinder early on with those support packages will be quite nice for the utility, getting the smokes out and so on. Do have to pay for munitions for them these days, though, and it doesn't look like we're going to be focusing on munitions just yet from Nagano. Going to be heading straight towards these fuel points.
I love how games evolve, because you get to be like the old man of the community and be like, and back in my day, Pathfinders had free smoke. And we'd spam it. Yeah. We'd spam it on points. We'd spam it on points, and there's nothing the Wehrmacht can do about it. But this is also a blast from CoH3's recent past. It's only a 6-month-year-old game, but the Luftwaffe, the noises of these planes landing on your points in the early game sends a shudder down all of our spines that we just can't get away from.
Yeah, we're going to see plenty of these Fallschirm Pioneers coming in and putting on as much map pressure as they can. Going to be stopping these Pathfinders from capping this munition point for the time being, but going to have to move into heavy cover if they want to take that engagement.
One engagement as Pathfinders were already set up and waiting. Elpern's got the MG42 again, going through munitions heavy build. It seems he's noticed something about Twin Beaches that he likes with regards to the amount of munitions on the map, and there is quite a bit. You know, you can get 2+16s if you go north, for example. So yeah, that's the style of play he's gone for, it seems.
Yeah, and in this case, Nagano would Elpern would do well to benefit from these munitions, because these Fallschirm Pioneers get the lovely upgrades, honestly. Like Granatbuchse upgrade is really, really nice.
I wonder what Buchse translates as. We all know Werfer is thrower. Panzerbuchse, Granatbuchse. Some German in chat, help us out. I'd love it. He was trying to go into the lighthouse. He's made it inside the lighthouse. And he's a beacon to every person with an M1 Garant near him right now, because he's getting lit up.
Yeah, this is the other change to this map, where they've removed the second building on top of this ridge next to the lighthouse. So you no longer get those weird engagements where both players occupy one of the buildings. But that lighthouse actually pretty nice now, because it has 360 line of sight.
Back grouping for the MG there, forced away. Right, the build so far, we've got 3 rifles, 2 Pathfinders, 2 Fallschirm Pioneers, 2 MG42s, and we're now going for a sandbag wall with a very low health Fallschirm Pioneer. I will just add, anybody who sneezes on him, he won't be around for much longer.
Yeah, that's a cheeky little build there, but it should be okay. Those rifles are very busy mid-capping those munition points. Now, the nice thing that Nagano is doing here is he has the fuel control, and now he's going to be going for the munitions. Whereas when we saw Elpern play as the Americans, he went for the munitions first, neglected his fuel, and that put him really far behind. So Nagano not wanting to do the same thing and make sure that he has plenty of fuel for his tanks and so on.
Is it me, or did the Pioneers just die in the north? You start with a Pioneer, right? And it's dead. I heard I heard an American go, "Target down," or whatever the voice acting is.
Sorry, say again.
You know what I mean? It sounds like something off Toy Story, or I don't know. But anyway, and then there's no Pioneers anymore.
In units there. Like we've got 2 Pioneers, Falchion Pioneers, 2 MGs, and yeah, that Pioneer definitely died.
Okay,
because
well,
now we have 3 rifles, a captain, 2 Pathfinders, 6 versus 4. It's a big difference, and you can see it in the map control.
Yeah, this is one of the builds I was expecting to see this tournament. This is a Panzer IV Rush build, because you can actually go straight for the Panzer Company building. You don't have to get anything before it.
Only works if you have fuel control, though, which
True.
he definitely does not.
True. You can forgo a little bit of fuel, though, and you can get Fallschirmjägers soon, which will certainly help up against the Bard rifles that are pouring onto the field. But it's not quite played the way I was expecting, because usually you see a couple of Grenadiers for the merge into Fallschirm Jaegers, and we're not quite seeing that this game.
This is actually a dominant start here from Nagano. It really is. These Falchion Pioneers really not lasting very well against these Bard rifles, and forced off there on the bottom side. Now Nagano can take even more fuel for himself.
Panzer Grenadier Company actually coming from Elpern, so even if he was going for a Panzer IV Rush, that's been cancelled.
Yeah, the Fallschirmjägers here actually getting a really nice flanking position, and if that MG gets pushed on, he will have height advantage, although it seems like the captain and the rifle is going to stand their ground. These Fallschirmjägers actually in a really bad position. They're being
doing terribly.
On both sides.
It's a mini Crete in the castle up here. And then the cry that, oh, he's been pushed away by the rifle nade. It's a torrid retreat path, but the captain himself and his retinue, or is it the retinue or the captain? Who's there? Either way, they're running away.
Yeah, the rifles here going to be trying to do a bit of damage. I'm surprised on that retreat. I reckon he could probably have done a little bit more damage to the Falchion Pioneers, but the MG obviously very scary. Don't want to be sat in front of that for too long.
You bloody don't. 1,200 rounds per minute. A furious Wehrmacht anger.
The map control here continuing, and he's actually getting a lot of value, I would say, out of these Pathfinders. They are pushing these units out of position quite frequently now, and he's certainly going to have the munitions to keep using that. And there goes the flare. Going to give him some information on where these MGs are heading.
Yeah, the flare should be... There it is. It should be able to... Yeah, both MGs are currently in vision. That's fantastic work. Got a Fallschirmjäger dropping on the cut-off point, but it actually won't work because this +5 munitions, just to confirm on the map there, yep, +5 munitions keeps it, so the Fallschirmjägers are just going to be dropping hot with loads of units going to be surrounding them very soon.
Yeah, Elpern sitting very low on fuel right now, and it's not getting any better anytime soon, so he's having to be very, very reliant on these quite manpower costly units, and since they don't have any veterancy yet, they are not that effective against these MG equipped US squads.
No, they're not. They're 40 manpower per reinforcement Vulcan. 40 versus 27 for the United States. It's just a ridiculous disparity. And yes, with the Luftwaffe you can get a 25% manpower reduction in the late game. Does it look like Elpern's heading to the late game right now?
Absolutely not.
No.
He is trying to save fuel, but I mean, he's not going to have enough to go Panzer Company and then get something else that's decent, because he just doesn't have the fuel for both. So he's going to probably have to start to rely on maybe lighter vehicles, but yeah, like these infantry aren't working out right now, let's be honest.
No. But, I mean, as much as we talk about the strategies, this might just be a case of excellent Nagano micro control, aggression, taking good engagements, picking good tactical gunfights. And maybe if we were to pause, analyse this replay, we would pick up on all the times Nagano got to cover before Elpern did. All the times Nagano, you know, chose the right path, the right engagement, and maybe he's just playing better. So let's not beat Elpern up enough. Maybe Nagano is just playing bloody well. If he got to the edge of defeat, Vulcan, he did not like it.
Yeah, the other thing is, there is sort of, over time, it's going to become more and more difficult for these players to concentrate, and considering Nagano won the last game, he has the momentum in the series right now, so that could also be putting pressure on Elpern. Elpern's like, oh, I really need to like win this now because I don't want it going to all game 5. Like, that's something that's going to be in the back of his mind moving forwards. And as you've mentioned before, like, the prize pool is big. There is a lot on the line for these players. It's nothing to scoff at.
It absolutely is, and there's a lot of prestige and pride as well, and I can really feel the game is coming alive. We've had a lot of strategic games leading up to this game 4, but this one feels a lot, I don't know, a lot more fast-paced and lethal and explosive as we get the satchel taking out the mortar once and for all there.
Oh, that was a beautiful set. Oh, that poor mortar squad. No more threat for these MGs, which might allow Elpern a little bit more map control once again, but he's got to find a way to win these initial engagements with these rifles, and so far it's not working out. And the lovely thing about having the Pathfinders is they can smoke off the MGs, they can also rifle grenade the MGs, so the mortar wasn't the only counter, and the problems are still going to remain.
Indeed. Indeed. And we've got the Falchion Pioneers being forced away there. We've got units pushing up in the north. We've got a stalemate in the southeast. Basically, Elpern, until he builds this Stug, he has 6 units and all of them are preoccupied. Some of them are just coming out of base right now, and if you look at the map control on the minimap in the bottom left, it's a sea of blue on Twin Beaches.
Yeah, and we also have a tank coming out of Nagano as well.
Okay.
Is that a M4? Yeah,
Yes, it is indeed.
What support center did he go? I assume he went infantry support again.
Yeah, we've seen the captain. The captain's been out for a while. He will have gone for munition surplus. It's pretty much that every game. Some players like Jibber may go for armored support center, but other than that, you're seeing IS and C all the time.
Yeah, I was just thinking with like the M4, like mechanized upgrade might have been a play. But obviously, yeah, the captain's been out for the entire game, so I wasn't even sure what I was asking.
I'm just glad I did my homework. Basically, I'll tell you guys a secret. Vulcan upstaged me so heavily in the last time I cast with him. He was so bloody good, and he knew everything. I actually had to start doing homework on Company of Heroes 3. That's how sad I am. Thank you, Vulcan. You actually challenged me to try and cast well. Thank you for that.
We just improve each other's casting. That's how we do it.
Like the USSR and Soviet Union used to improve each other's fighter planes. Friendly rivalry. No, I'm joking. Right, the Stug's out. It's trying to fire up this embankment to get some infantry right now. Sherman's probably thinking of maneuvering over there soon.
The Stug is like the budget choice here, right? It's not the choice that you would want to have, because honestly, Stugs are not that good against infantry until they get the point-blank blast, right? So this is not really going to help him much deal with these rifle squads.
No, it's all about getting that upgrade, I feel, for the Panzer Grenadier Company, but he's got nothing else out from that tier, so it's going to be point-blank blast less for quite a while, one would imagine. And he's pinging shots off this frontal glacis for days.
It makes me sad, really sad, when I see Stugs bouncing off Panzer IVs. The Stug, like, historically would have just been chewing through Germans, right?
That's not true. This is a simulation. World War II is based on this game. How dare you? Oh, P-47 strafes nothing, but it looked really cool.
Indeed, indeed. Oh, there we go. Finally, a penetration from the Stug, but that Stug is not having a fun time. The rifles do get pinned and forced back. These MGs are not quite doing what they need to do, and the points, victory points, getting pretty scary now for Elpern, that's for sure.
162's not good. I have just noticed there are sandbags on the front of the Sherman and a devil's face. So you didn't take that into consideration there, Vulcan, to be fair to you.
Skins get wins.
Oh, he's grouped up, like he said, but there's no explosions nearby. I'm getting excited every time I see a unit pass a corner now on retreat, Vulcan. You trained me.
Yeah, the terrain is a devil, just like that tank.
It is indeed. We've got units pouring around the side of the castle. Now this MG has to be careful. Grenade goes off. Felsham Pioneers dodge it. But this MG is going to be no more. And that's a shame because it was Vet 2. It's got 1 man remaining. It's got no men remaining. It's a very dead MG squad.
Oh, and the Fallschirmjäger taking a lot of damage here as well. The rifles will be able to dodge that grenade. And will the Fallschirmjäger go down as well? Oh, the double wipe MG42 and Fallschirmjäger taken out. This is huge. And if things weren't bad enough, Elpern is in a hole now.
He truly is. His Stug's being backed down the beach as well, just in threat of these AT grenades. Meanwhile, we've got another Stug enters the fighting on prioritized vehicle mode. But we've got a Hellcat in the build for Nagano. He's found his groove. 18A goes off in the north.
The worst thing here is there was no munitions for a Panzerfaust onto the M4.
Oh.
Otherwise, it would have been dead.
Still could be. We need one more shot. He's off stun. He's off stun. He's trying to cause him to... Oh, and it bounces! Those historically authentic bounces, and he finally penetrates. There we go. And just for good measure, he calls something. A P-47. There we go.
Yeah, that was the P-47 straight out of Nagano, trying to capitalize on the Stugs overcommitting. It looks like will he get away with the MG42? No, but he does get it closer to his side of the map, so he might be able to recap that.
Sorry for looking away, but I've just noticed, by the way, Nagano's been capping victory points whilst this happens, so he's clearly going to finish this off on victory points right now, and the Hellcats bringing hellfire down on these infantry guns turned tank destroyers.
Oh, this is going to be a nasty double kill here for the Hellcat, as long as it doesn't miss. Oh no, that miss could have really cost this Hellcat a lot, but that's going to be a nade to finish that one off. Sticky bomb doing the job. Now this Stug, not long for this world, and does go down as well. That is curtains for Elpern.
Oh, it's curtains for Elpern, and it's a game 5 for us, an ace game in this best of 5 series. We're having fun out, aren't we, lads? This is what we came here for.
Yeah, this has been an incredible series so far. I mean, it started very one-sided. It looked like Elpern had Nagano's number, like, completely. And then Nagano now, with the like cheesy sort of powerful battle groups out of the way, it seems like Nagano really is coming to life. Yeah, exactly. It's a big nerf to Elpern when his prepared strategies that he's the master of, seemingly, he's churned through a couple of them now. So Nagano, who kind of gets given build orders by Jibber by the sounds of it in chat. Jibber said in chat he gave Nagano this build order months ago. There's been 2 patches in that time frame. But seriously, like, Nagano's now in his element. He's clearly warmed up into this, and historically speaking, he's a higher rated player than Elpern. Maybe not right now, but he has the grade and the pedigree of being the current reigning world champion and having won countless tournaments before this. So, yeah, he's warmed up into the series. He's in the process of a reverse sweep. Can Elpern put his foot down on this progress? We're going to have to see if Elpern has an ace up his sleeve, like a battle group he hasn't shown yet that he feels confident enough to really, like, nail the timing on, because that's one thing that Elpern seems to do very, very well. Like, he times these call-ins well, and like we were talking about before, like, he criticizes call-ins, but he knows why he needs to criticize call-ins, because they can be very strong when used correctly.
Well, yeah, I mean, all the best players will play the better, and that's why the patrons of the Master League pay for this action, Vulcan. For one, for one, we need to see it, but for 2, it shows us the best way to play the game. And Relic, I'm going to say finally, I'm very thankful, but finally are joining in and helping fund this, because the Master League has offered an absolutely massive service to Common Heroes 3 in its infancy, because we get to see the true way to win in this particular RTS that launched 6 months ago. Elpern's showing it us, but Nagano's showing us sometimes the old ways are the best, and that's this grand control strategy where you're so active and you just try and overwhelm your opponent with raw RTS mechanical skill, trained through iron and steel with his sparring partner Isildur from back in the day. So yeah, we're seeing a tale of two players, and we're heading to a game ace. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm trying to say. Let me give you the screen sharing.
Yeah, game
privileges.
5. I did not expect a game 5 in this series, but hey, I mean, we kind of semi-called the. I think you shared the wrong screen with me.
Have I shared your face?
Yes, you shared me with me.
I thought you'd appreciate seeing yourself. I mean, it's like a free mirror. I'm giving you. That's a good service. Right, okay, there we go. So save that. Oh, and the score's easy. I don't have to think about who's left or right because we've both got both on 2 right now.
And we have this map, which I don't know the name of.
I will teach you all about this map, my friend, because I helped make it. Well, helped remake
I mean,
it.
I mean, I know the map. I just don't know what it's called.
It's called Von Ivan's Happy Place.
Ah, of course.
You don't want to go to Von Ivan's happy place because that's not other people's happy places. Big shout out to Von Ivan, by the way. I know he's messaged me. I've not had time to read it, but we've had no need of the substitute player, but he is here if there are any no-shows in any of the 4 series in this 8-player event. He is the man I choose to jump in any of the 4, regardless of seed, because he's been such a servant of the tournament scene for the last decade. And he's like number 11 seed. And number 9 and 10 didn't want to play. Well, they couldn't. They had prior commitments. But anyway, he gets to jump in if there's any no-shows. So big shout out to Von in chat. All right, with 2. What else have I got on my list? Engage. I'm pretty good. I'm getting actually learning it without having to look at my list now, which is fan-dabby-dozy. Right. In Kahuna in chat, he was the other substitute. His in real life commitment is he doesn't want to play.
Well, there you go.
For shame. Absolute for shame. Right, let's go. Hello there and welcome to the deciding 5th H game of this best of 5 series in this $4,000 prize pool tournament. The winner gets $2,000 for winning the whole thing. And we're in our first round right now where the reigning Master League Finals champion from 2022 has performed the first 2/3 of a reverse sweep. He's here as the United States, as the Armor battle group, and he's up against a player that thought he had this series in his hands. He had one hand on the semi-finals already. Vulcan, what the hell happened?
Yeah, it was a very, very good start to the series for Elpern. He was looking very dominant, but as we got through the battle groups, it seems like his strategies ran out, and Nagano really took advantage of the scrappy playstyle and just strong RTS gameplay in order to come back. So really, really looking forward to this game 5. Does Elpern have an ace up his sleeve on the Wehrmacht? He's going to be forced into the last remaining battle group, I believe. He's used Luftwaffe. He's used the mechanized. So what's left?
What's left? It is, of course, Breakthrough. He's not actually used Breakthrough. And he saved the perfect battle group for this map, because this is a short map, and it's got close quarter combat potential with a lot of LOS blockers here and here and here. So yeah, he can push in with those MP40 Grenadiers and make them work. Also, it's great to have that battle group ready because he's up against the Jeep. So to have 3 Fausting platforms will keep the Jeep from killing him, but that bloody infinite range bug is not going to stop the Jeep from killing him. So yeah, that's something else he has to contend with.
Yeah, that Jeep very, very strong at the moment, and has already done a good job of capping a few of these extra points. We've got plenty of rifles, of course, going to be coming out of Nagano, and we'll have to see how the Grens can perform against the rifles before the bars come out, because it's going to be important that these Grens win their engagements early on.
It certainly is. MG42's going down the central spine. of the road here. There is a new LOS blocker here added by myself and Elpern, just to make it so the Wehrmacht can't shut up shop in this quadrant as much anymore. Elpern seems to be reacting to that a little bit. He also wants to protect this +10 fuel in the north. Meanwhile, in the south, Jeep up against Pioneer's Rifleman flanking as well. So Nagano's going for the south in this yin-yang kind of map capping at the present.
Yeah, he's managed to cap that top sector near the mansion as well.
The Nazi mega mansion, yes.
Yes. Is that the technical term, is it?
It is.
Okay, great. I will refer to it like that from now on. Another rifle coming out. That's 3 rifles now, and we're going to be seeing 3 Grens. So who can get the better of these engagements? These Grens actually moving into a position to try and wipe this squad, but not going to happen. Scout's going to be making a run for it ASAP.
Yep, Jeep doing some good work with flanking rifles. That MG did not stand a chance. Very easy decision to retreat ASAP there. We've got ISG on its way with the captain and his retinue ready to play in a few moments. And this is a cut-off neutralization from Nagano, and he's just got one more to go to deprive Elpern of every sector except for the home sectors, the munitions here and the +10 fuel here. The rifleman playing on the island, capping the +10 munitions, and Nagano looking pretty strong in this game 5 there, Vulcan.
Yeah, he's definitely got decent map control early on, but we're just about to see the vet come through for the Grens, which is going to give them a lot more staying power on the map thanks to their free heal, and will now be able to really push quite aggressively and use that HP to their advantage.
He used a great MG position there to stop the rifles taking that northern cutoff just in the nick of time. Pioneers brazenly and bravely facing the Jeep down. We got the captain emerging, the mortar emerging in the exact same time. So Nagano's firepower is having a big power spike.
I'm surprised to see the mortar with only 1 MG on the map, but it is the best mortar currently in the game, right? It has very, very fast-firing mortar, the American one. So he's going to be trying to use that to dislodge the MG and then, I guess, push on with the bars.
Just like a teapot, this map is short and squat. Basically, the mortar can fire from here to here, Vulcan. That's why pretty much you'll see... It's like mortar tennis, advanced mortar tennis, usually, Faymanville.
It's short from base to base, so get a lot of value out of those mortars then.
Exactly. Grenadiers forced away by the rifles. Jeep coming in from the side, looking to get some pot shots off on the MG, no doubt.
A nice play with the Jeep so far. It's been really, really annoying for Elpern to deal with so far. I think he's played with it maybe much better than Elpern managed to do when he was using his armored battle group so far.
Look at this from Nagano. He's getting 2 cutoffs again. Elpern's having to fight to keep it in his control. He's done a really good job of that, in fairness, keeping this +10 fuel under his control all game long and stopping cutoffs in the nick of time.
Yeah, we're going to see that cut off on the bottom side again. It's just going to be really annoying for Elpern if he wants to try and take back more ground here. You can see that he is trying to decap that munition, but it's not really going to help if he doesn't have this strategic point here.
Big shout out to Orange Pest in chat, who I believe is watching from a layover. He's on a 30-hour flight from America through 2 other countries, and he will be playing in the Master League tomorrow. So that could end very badly, sprinting into a possible Faust, but just getting obliterated and lit up and forced back as quickly as he came.
That was a big manpower drain that was almost unnecessary there for the Grens. These rifles actually getting a decent amount of damage onto the MG, but going to be forced back. He doesn't want to lose them to the Grens on the VP.
The NMM is only usable on the front and back face there, so not the best build.
Yeah, there's like 3 different buildings there, right? So
there's 6. There's no assets in the map editor, so Elpern and I basically tried every combination of building to try and make a mansion, And this monstrosity is what it ended up with.
It looks good, but it obviously restricts the window usage quite significantly there, just towards the point, so that you can capture behind the mansion. It's actually quite a nice sort of balancing factor of that big building, to be honest.
That's why we went with
fire out every window, it would be very, very oppressive.
Well, the whole idea is they lost the keys, the internal keys. The groundskeeper died, you see. So it's all good. There's a story to every bit of this map, from the dog and cat fighting to the donkeys making sweet, sweet love. There's a bit of everything for everybody, basically.
those particular animal lovers. So we see now the Grens actually had a really bad.
Oh, they get a Faust off though. Call an ambulance, but not for me. Grens with a huge kill on the Jeep.
That was a lovely turnaround and great commitment there. Actually, I didn't realize that was in range. That was caught me out.
He had the +7 range boost from CoH3. He had it installed. Big brain move from Elpern.
Well, that's definitely turned things around a little bit, because that Jeep was extremely annoying for Elpern to deal with. It kept flanking his MGs and allowing the rifles a lot of maneuverability, but now these MGs going to be more oppressive than ever. And you can see that immediately as the full health rifle squad forced to retreat.
Oh dear. Now Nagano has to play like DevM or like Inka Una when he used to like playing Company of Heroes. He's got to actually bunch up all of his rifles, try and push from behind these big OLS blockers, and push the MGs away. He's up against 2 of them. He's up against 3 Grens that will be spotting for them, and it's going to be tricky. Fortunately for him, he does have smoke, so that's an option. But Nagano's got to really think and put his proper Company Heroes US hat on here. How do you get back on the map?
The other problem that we're going to see here is Elpern's saved up a lot of fuel, so we could see a big armor disparity soon as well.
Big shout out to Elpern for actually keeping this cut off all game long, Vulcan, because Nagano was coming for it multiple times.
Yep. And looks like Nagano's obviously put a lot of fuel into his infantry upgrades, and that could get punished at some point. Although he does have the Scott available. That Scott, actually, potential here for that to be useful to clean up the MGs. Even put pressure onto the AT gun if it gets a flanking position.
I'm not hating the idea of the Scott. I'm just hating the fact that Elpern has so much fuel. That's what I'm thinking of from Nagano's perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea in the long run, though. He's gone for it, though, the mad lad. He's gone for it. And where's his 80? Oh, my God. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. At least we're not up against Stug quite yet. Or a Panzer IV or anything. He's got a window of opportunity. He's got to make it work now, hasn't he, Vulcan?
Yeah. He has to get a lot of value out of this Scott now. It is a good choice in this situation, but the fuel, as we mentioned, is in a really bad place. So it just depends whether or not Elpern's going to commit to a Panzer IV. If he commits to a Panzer IV, then it's going to be quite late, which means the Scott is going to actually be able to do a lot of work and is getting a lot of health damage onto these Grens, forcing them back.
Oh, I was so hoping he was in range for a shot on retreat there. I'm not being a Nagano fanboy. Maybe I should be less biased now. I was very biased in Nagano's favour for the last 2 casts because I want to see a 5th ace game. But, yeah, I'm now just a Scott fan because this is a bit of a curveball choice, isn't it, let's say?
Yeah, but Elpern has committed to Panzer IVs. He's building the Tech 3 building now. So we will see this Scott actually be able to deal a lot of damage without being under much threat for a little while.
Talking of damage, he's the professor of damage right now, writing a thesis on dead Germans infantry. One more shot for good luck on retreat, perhaps? Yeah, why not? Just get a bit of health damage. The AoE profile is quite frankly ridiculous. If you've seen Oppenheimer, it's something similar to that.
Nice current memes there. And the Scott now going to be able to move up the middle. There's only one AT gun still, so it does have a lot of room to maneuver. But it is going to want to stick nearby the rifles. Just stop the Grens overwhelming it. Get some Faust on target, and then it's in trouble.
Gren's forced away.
That is a perfect one in chat there from James Scottenheimer. Love it.
Oh, Jamesy Jamso! One of the best commenters on my stream. Good one, son. That's...
Lovely. So now the Scott. I'm curious if Nagano is fire positioning this Scott behind the cover, because you can get a lot of damage. If those shots land behind the sandbags, you're basically doubling your damage. It's nuts.
This thing's ridiculous!
It's incredibly oppressive, and the rifle's now going to be able to really push these Grens off. That's going to be a free cap on the top side.
It is indeed. Gren's looking to survive. How are we looking in terms of this Panzer IV? We're on 78 fuel for Elpern. Meanwhile, Gren's are in a spot of bother, let's call it, if he was Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, but he's managed to get that cut off. It's cut off 3 sectors. 2 munition, 1 fuel.
Not bad.
The Gren might pay for it, but not quite. They are going to get away with probably at least 1 man. 2 man is great.
We'll draw your attention to the kill counter in the top. Big thanks to The Cuban, former Relic staff member turned community modder. 40 kills to 33 in Nagano's favour at the moment.
Yeah, this Scott has actually put in quite a lot of work onto these infantry squads, and is now trying to kill off the MG there. Definitely going to force it back. Doesn't manage to find a kill just yet. There you go. One of the members goes down. This AT gun really struggling to get a shot on target.
Right, Elpern's just hit 100 fuel. He's waiting for the manpower now. And Nagano's getting the M1AT gun out. Oh, this is getting juicy. It's getting very juicy.
What was interesting is Elpern delayed his Panzer IV by buying the Stosstroop. And I'm not entirely sure that that was worth it, particularly with the Scott on the field. But the Scott are taking a lot of damage from that AT gun.
That is a miscalculation, Vulcan. You're very right to point that out. Yep, not great. Here, this grenade assault could be great. One of the grenades bounces off the mortar itself and flies into the air, then lands next to the grenadier.
Wow.
Did you guys see that? He got a bounce off the actual mortar that it landed. That was insane. Somebody clip that so we can watch it again, because I don't know how I even managed to see that, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
How did it even bounce in the first place? It just like blew up.
Oh, Captain dead.
Whoa, Captain got taken out there by the Grens. 3 vet Grens now. Actually pretty scary. But the Scott doesn't care. He's going to come in and blast them, and they're going to be forced off. So this is, so far, this game has been pretty close, and we do see the Panzer IV now on the field, but Nagano does already have that AT gun somewhat prepared. All these Grens need to be extremely careful. They are in a very, very bad position. That would be a lovely, lovely squad to wipe out, and they do manage to get it.
Yep.
Beautifully done.
You can't be careful when you're dead. That's the lesson from this game. Meanwhile, we do have the 57mm AT gun. Should he go for another Vulcan? Try and just shut out the Panzer IV, perhaps?
He's going to need to, because he doesn't have the fuel to go for any armor, and yeah, he's queued it just now. So, yeah, double AT gun is pretty much the only answer right now for him. So, definitely going to be relying on that until he can get M8s in the late game.
This Scott's having such a fun game. I may have to just enable the bloody custom squad UI thing that knackers up my UIs. We just lost the scout squad, by the way, off screen. Scott only has 8 kills, surprisingly. I'm very surprised by that.
A lot of health damage done though, and it's given a lot of map presence, because anytime it's like advancing on a squad, you see Elpern just immediately retreats. He knows how much damage it's going to do. And it just means that Nagano has time to cap up some points. But at the moment, it doesn't seem to be making much of a difference, as Elpern has a lot of map control.
So chat informs me it was a bounce off the mortar, but it was a mortar shell that landed. So it was only half as fun as I thought it was. Sadly, sadly.
That would have been epic.
It was still cool, just not epic. That's why. I've got both 57mm lining up shots. They need some action. One hits a barrel and one misses. Oh dear.
Hit the dirt and fire!
I mean, they are in a good position here, though, because they're not really under threat by anything until that MG arrives. I say that, and then the Strave's coming in. So let's see how much damage this actually does. Or is this the dive? Or is this the bomb?
Yep.
Oof.
Oh dear. That's an
Napalm
incendiary
bomb.
bombing run, yeah, from the breakthrough, I guess, and wowzer.
That was honestly an incredibly delayed reaction from Nagano. I feel like he had plenty of time to move out of the way from that.
Well, it was
If he
yellow
was paying
smoke. He
attention
was
to that
probably
engagement.
thinking, yellow smoke, is that good? Is that bad? Does he dodge it? Does he get the the AT gun back? He's going to go for it, surprisingly. No, he's not. It was a pour it on call. We've got the MG putting supporting fire down. The Scott's in trouble. Oh, dear. 75 mil from the Panzer IV could take him out with
Wait.
one more shot.
Did that just... It took a hit, but barely took any damage. But this is a really nice play here, pushing onto the AT gun and taking out the Scott. He's not only stolen both of the AT guns now, he takes out the Scott, and that is a huge loss. This is pretty much GG, surely.
Yeah.
Nagano losing all of his equipment that he could use to come back in this game. That is incredibly big play indeed.
It was incredible. He got everything he needed. He had a strong core and he had a good flank with the Slotstruppen. And Nagano was found wanting. Maybe he hit fatigue in this game, I want to say, because he played really well in games 3 and 4.
Wipe.
Yeah.
Nice wipe there from the rifles, and he is behind those AT guns, so maybe we could shut them down. But that is the second Panzer IV, isn't it? So never mind. I was debating myself into thinking that Nagano had hope.
He got rid of the Slotstruppen, but still not
Meanwhile,
looking
the
great.
rifles just standing in front of the Panzer IVs, taking 3 damage. That poor rifle there, almost getting taken out. This one, most definitely.
Oh dear. Oh dear, a delayed retreat here as well from Nagano. Oh, 2 men down, 1 man remaining. Panzer IV
Brutal.
couldn't get the killing blow, but it doesn't matter because Nagano's not got much left. He's got this new AT gun, a mortar team, 3 rifles, and he's up against a veritable feast of Wehrmacht opposition.
Oh, he just couldn't make that mistake with the AT guns. It cost him so much. Like, just a little bit misposition, a little bit delay on the airstrike of moving out the way. And, yeah, it cost him the series.
It did. I just don't know why he couldn't see it. Maybe he was otherwise concerned. Maybe he was in TAC map. Maybe he just didn't quite figure out exactly what was happening. I mean, it's been a long series. The 5th game, it's been played at a very high pace, especially game 4 was ridiculous, I felt, in terms of how fatiguing it must have been. And yeah, Nagano is definitely clutching at straws to stay in this one right now.
Yeah, and Elpern just showing how good he is at going for the throat. He smells that blood and he just goes in and he just grabs these important moments in the series. In game 1 and 2, he did that just both games where he would get to these moments in the game where he just decimates his opponent and make sure that they can't come back. In this case, like you said, Nagano on life support with these rifles, trying to cap back some ground so that he can bring in enough to get back in the game, but I doubt very much that he's going to have much time to do so.
Good work from the riflemen just to keep that northern victory point in his possession, because we all know what triple cap can do to you in Company of Heroes 3. It's literally 1 VP tick per second, unlike Company of Heroes 2, which was 1 per 1.2 seconds when you had a triple cap.
It looks like Nagano is going to try and play around the MA. It's going to be his last hurrah as he saves up manpower for it.
Yeah, he's got enough fuel. He needs 640 manpower. He will have it soon, but what he won't have is a victory points situation under his control. He's up against an MG in the south, facing the river to cut off Nagano's fresh water supply. Nice. In the centre, he's up against another MG. He has a lot of veterancy, and it's all quiet on the western front. Nothing's happening.
It's only a matter of time until that gets capped. And when he gets below 50 with 3 points capped, that's no time at all, really. This M8's got to rush forwards. He's got to get the spread on the bars, rifles, so that he can cap back enough points in time. We'll just enjoy this scenic ride with the M8 as it trundles into combat nice and late, as American armor traditionally is.
Yeah, well, by the time the armors arrived, the artillery's usually destroyed everything. He's contending for victory points. The mortar lays down smoke. The rifles push in the center. The Easy 8 gets a huge shot off on the Grenadiers. Rifleman giving supporting fire as well, and a follow-up shot on retreat just for good measure. Rifles push on. They get a very good grenade off, wiping the MG, trying to take the MG. He's having to play really aggressively here. He thinks the smoke's still there, but alas, it has unveiled itself. Well, flowed away, whatever the phrase is. I'm tired.
Yeah, the Grens here going to be preventing the cap for the time being. Probably shouldn't move off. There's no point in really chasing that there. He can just solidify the victory if he stays on the point. And yeah, every single point's still secure. The M8 didn't do enough. And unfortunately for Nagano, it is curtains in this best of 5.
GG, well played, called. It has been a very good series, and Elpern progresses to the semi-final, but Nagano showed just what a player he truly is. Righty-ho then. That was a good one, eh?
Very well played. Very, very well played to both players. That was an incredible series.